Hi guys, it's Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you all another really highly requested video, and that is how to get prepared for your exams. As I'm sure you're aware, it's exam season. I'm sure your teachers are talking about revision. You guys are constantly asking me for revision tips, you know, how to get prepared for your exams. That's why I'm doing this video, and other things like that. So I thought that this video may help. I've got about 14 pieces of advice and like tips and things like that, just of like different things that you can do to really feel at ease and like kind of reduce the pressure that you've got. So yeah, let's just get started. It's pretty self-explanatory really. Okay, so number one, make sure you give yourself enough time to study. This is really important. It's much more beneficial to do little and often than loads of like the night before your exam, as your brain wants to slowly absorb information and then you can just go over things and it feels a lot less stressful, believe me. I mean, revising the night before and completely cramming, it definitely does work. I personally feel like it's more about when you revise over a long period of time that you kind of relax as you feel more prepared, because if you revise the night before you don't know if you've like missed anything out, and then if you feel like you don't know something you don't have enough time to go over it. It's more beneficial to your mental state. If anything, you don't feel as stressed, you don't feel as like intense, you don't feel as like anxious about your exam because you feel like you've covered everything and you've got enough time to cover everything and you can do different things. Whereas the night before, you know, doing practice papers aren't going to be that effective, because if you're not doing it right, then like it's just going to make you panic and you can only really go over the material. So you should probably, if you haven't already started revising, you should probably start like quite soon, otherwise you may not feel as prepared, you may not cover all the material. I feel like the higher up in the years you are, the more material you've got to cover, so you should start maybe a little bit more earlier or do more thorough revision. So number two is to write down absolutely everything that you need to cover. Now I did this last night and it probably took me about 3.5 to 4 hours, and I literally wrote down absolutely everything that I need to cover. And this booklet thing, I'm going to call it a booklet, is 10 pages long of A4 of all of the different things that like I need to do, and this isn't even thorough. I'll quickly talk you through how I made this. So what I did was basically get a textbook. You kind of already have like a gist of what's going to come up in the exam from like end of topic tests, the topics that you've been doing. Like it shouldn't be something that you've never done before. So basically I went through all of my textbooks and workbooks and just kind of wrote down all the topics that we went through within that subject. You can do this really easily through the use of textbooks. So if I quickly show you my maths one. So this is my maths textbook. I'm doing IGCSE maths. All my exams and exam boards are in the description. And what I basically went through is wrote down the chapter title, so say algebraic fractions, and then underneath that wrote all of the little like subheadings. So for example, simplifying, multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting and solving equations using fractions, and did those as like sub bullet points. So I have the key kind of topic and then subtopics, and then I just did that for absolutely every single thing, and as you can see it's pretty extensive. And then at the end of each thing I just jotted down some things that I wanted to do. So I'm gonna try to do some quizzes online. There are a few like revision booklet things, and then also in this book there is summary questions for each like summary. So say summary 1, and then there's a massive section on summary questions. So I want to try and work through those rather than go through the textbook individually. But obviously when I'm revising each subtopic I'll probably do questions and stuff. And that's basically what I've done for every single topic. For English I wrote down some essays that I want to do like practice ones of. So for example, I want to write the essay for the importance of dun 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 within the novel. I want to write the essay of the role of thingy within the novel, how say dreams is explored, how the theme of violence is presented in Of Mice and Men, and just things like that. I put about revising like keywords and stuff, and basically wrote down everything that I want to go over and do. And this way you can kind of check off things so you don't miss anything out when revising, and you know what you've got to cover, what things you may need to spend more time on. Number 3 kind of goes along with that, is to get organised. So something that really just organises me in my life is to make a revision timetable. Should I get it down? Yeah, I'll get it down. Oops, I accidentally ripped it. So this is mine, it's absolutely tiny. I've just put it up here. And then this here is my exam I can't even speak today. And this here is my exam timetable, so I can see what exams I've got and when. This isn't like properly done like with timings and things and stuff like that, or like any extracurricular. This is just kind of what I aim to do, and I like slot it around different things. These slots are all hours, so on Monday nights I want to do, say, English language, biology, French and maths. Tuesdays, business, English, chemistry, drama, and then say Saturday and Sunday I would like to aim to do 6 hours, which sounds like a lot, but it's actually really not. And probably when the exams get closer, I might say do, I don't know, 8 hours or 10 hours and things like that. Or if I don't do, you know, 2 hours one night during the week, I'll add that onto the weekends, or I might have a night off during the week and do that during the weekends. So in total on my timetable, I'm going to be doing 3 hours of revision for each subject each week, and that is what I aim to do, just to kind of feel at ease and at comfort. I haven't yet done a full like timetable of this, so I don't know if it's going to be too much. It probably is, like this is a lot, so I might have to like redo it, but this is probably what I'll stick to closer to the exams. But for now I'm just kind of taking it quite at ease, maybe doing like half an hour, or you know, it's not as intense, and I'm not doing that as rigidly to this timetable. But making an exam timetable really helps, as you know that you're being consistent, you're giving and dedicating enough time for each subject. But bear in mind, if you're not as good as, say, chemistry, like me for example, or French, you might want to spend a little bit more time on those than, say, English or RE or history. For me, I'm better at those than I am chemistry and French, because I just cannot do chemistry and French. You can do other things, obviously, like organising your notes in your folders. You can divide up things, make sure you've got all of your notes ready. If you want to see how I organise my notes, subscribe, because that is the next video which is going up, and turn on my post notifications, and you can see how I personally organise my folders and ring binders and what the big one's called. Oh my god, my brain is literally fried. I don't know why I can't talk. If you'd like me to do a video all about organisation and how to get organised, then definitely let me know. I'll probably insert a poll. I've been doing a lot of polls recently, I'm really sorry. Number 4 would be to try and find your learning style. So you can do basically a VAK test. You can find a bunch of them online, I'll leave them linked. And basically this is a test to see what your learning style is, so whether you're visual, auditory or kinesthetic. My results were very much kind of like I'm a bit of everything, and I know that I am. But for me, in order what it went in was kinesthetic, visual and then auditory. So have a play around, do a couple of tests, and then see which one you are, and then do revision activities and create like revision resources which suit your learning style. As you know, if you're visual, you might want to do a load of mind maps and stick that everywhere which you can see. If you are kinesthetic, you might want to like stand up and present your information to yourself in the mirror. If you're auditory, you might want to like make up a song or speak your revision and things like that. Number 5 would be to go through past exam papers and, you know, end of topic tests which you've done throughout the year or previous years, and dedicate a little bit of extra time to the questions that you got wrong and what subtopic that is to do with, and, you know, recap that, make sure you can get it right, and then try the question again and see if you can do it, or do similar questions and see if you can do those, as they are where your gaps in your knowledge are, and you want to work on those, because you don't want to be spending loads of time revising things which you've already got right in an exam. Obviously you want to go over it, but spend more time on the things which you got wrong. Number 6 is use some visual aids, make mind maps, flashcards, post-it notes, stick them everywhere. All of that will be covered. I'll have mind maps all along here and here, and this is literally covered with visual aids, and honestly they really do help. It's really handy because you can just glance up at something when you're revising. Okay, the sun is completely gone, so I don't know how well lit this video is going to be. Number 7, yes, number 7 is make sure to read through all of your notes, like actually go through and read everything from what you've made during lessons. Like sit down and read them. Like you have spent time in class making those notes. Your teacher has probably highlighted things which you need to write down, which are crucial to know. So go through those notes and make sure that you read them and look at them, because it's pointless making them if you're not going to look at them and use them. If throughout the year you didn't make good notes, or you're only just starting to kind of like, you know, properly care now at the end of the year, ask a friend if you can go through theirs and photocopy them and use them. Number 8 is write down everything you can remember when you're revising like subtopics and things like that. Just splurt it out. I think it's called blurting, and when you just get a scrap piece of paper or like a normal piece of paper, I don't really care, and just write down absolutely everything that you can remember. and then go through it in a different colour and write down all the things that you forgot or didn't write down, and then make sure you spend time going over that, and you know, maybe put that on a visual aid, all the things that you forgot, and put that on your wall somewhere so you can become aware that with the things that you forgot. This is a really good way to find the gaps in your knowledge and revise on them and act on the things that you don't know. Another way to kind of find the gaps in your knowledge is to go through your syllabus, or to go through like say your checklist. For example, say for maths, if I was to say go algebraic fractions, okay, how do I simplify an algebraic fraction and see if I can do it? How do I multiply one? How do I divide one? And if you can't do it, or you can't instantly think on how to do it, then you know, you need to go over that. Number 9 would be to test yourself frequently, like maybe once a week on each topic, and then, you know, see what you're getting right, what you're getting wrong, and act on that. It's all about kind of knowing what you don't know and then learning that, so you kind of know everything and know as much as possible. Number 10, this is maybe something to do closer to the exam, and that is read through your notes in your bed, like right before you go to sleep, and then when you wake up, read through the same notes, as this way it's the last thing you read and do before bed. Make sure, like when I say make sure it's the last thing that you do, don't go on your phone, don't, you know, go on your laptop, don't read a book, maybe read for 15 minutes and then read your notes, as this way it's the last thing you think about, and then when you wake up and read through your notes, it's the first thing that you think about. So it's the last and first thing that you think about, and it really just kind of cements your knowledge of what you're reading, and it kind of stays in a lot longer, and this is a really, really effective way. And now it's raining. That's great lighting for a video. I feel like this is really dark and really grainy, so like, sorry about that, but oh well, we'll go with it. Number 11 is to make sure you continuously like work out to maintain your energy levels, you know, to just kind of make sure you don't slob out, you feel a lot more productive. And yeah, if you want to check out how to be productive, you can subscribe to my channel and check out my last video, because I just uploaded that. But yeah, definitely exercise frequently. Number 12 follows on from that, and that is to make sure you eat healthy and you're drinking lots and you're eating lots and getting all of your vitamins, I've never said that in my life, all of your vitamins and nutrients. Try to eat food, or like blend up food in a smoothie, which will aid your concentration and your focus and your memory. So things like fish, seeds, blueberries, nuts, what else have I got down there? Yogurt, they're all perfect to kind of, you know, do this. Try to avoid eating things like sugar, for example chocolate or cake or coffee, because I don't know about coffee, but I'm guessing coffee, as what this will do is it will cause your energy levels to spike, but then it will fall and you will ultimately end up not as, you know, productive and focused and stuff as you would be if you had something like good for your brain. Number 13 is another kind of obvious one, and that's to drink plenty of water for your brain to work at its best. And then lastly, number 14 is the night before an exam, try to take a hot bath and relax, and try to maybe just read over your notes. Don't do anything, like it's pointless doing practice papers, it's pointless doing tests, it's pointless making notes and mind maps and things. Maybe blurt a little bit, but there's no point because you don't really have enough time to kind of get in that information. But just maybe read over your notes, have a bath, you know, relax, have a nice tea and go to bed early, and just make sure you're fully pampered and ready for the exam the next day. The less stressed that you are and the less kind of intense and on edge you feel about this exam, the better you're going to perform in it. So just make sure you just take time for yourself, as you've just spent ages revising and doing all these different things. You can have the night before to just pamper. Fundamentally, you don't really need to do any revision the night before, as you should already know the information, but just read over your notes. You should be able to, when you're reading it over, know what's coming next, and kind of it should come naturally to you. Nothing should be new, nothing should be confusing. You should be able to explain it all yourself. And yes, I think that is everything. I've got a few tips, and that's basically to just take breaks often, don't stay up all night, don't study all at once, and obviously don't overdo it. You don't want to like exert yourself too much and cause yourself to just like crash, as that fundamentally is just not effective at all. And yes, this is basically all of my tips on how to get prepared for your exams. Hopefully it helped. I'm gonna love you and leave you all here. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.